Welcome to Mambo Yetu Haya podcasts. You know that feeling when you stumble across something that just feels real, like genuinely authentic? Today, we're diving into a fascinating phenomenon happening right here in Nakuru, a podcast called Mambo Yetu Haya that's redefining how communities share their stories. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how local voices are reshaping digital media and why this matters for the future of cultural storytelling.
And it's not just about the stories themselves, it's about how they're being told. The search results show that Mambo Yetu Haya covers everything from relationships to social issues, all through this incredibly relatable lens.
What exactly makes this show different from other podcasts?
Well, according to their channel description, they focus on, and I quote, everything and anything that interests you, concerns you, affects you, and benefits you. It's this really inclusive approach to content.
That's fascinating. How did they build their audience?
What's really interesting is how they've grown organically. Their episodes range from serious discussions about financial bills to lighter topics like dating and relationships. They're consistently getting hundreds of views per episode.
And this is all happening in Nakuru, right?
Yeah, and that's what makes it even more significant. Nakuru is becoming this hub of cultural expression. There's actually this new platform called Mambo Yetu launching in July 2025, specifically to showcase local events and content.
Oh, really? Tell me more about that.
So Mambo Yetu is positioning itself as this gateway for unforgettable experiences in Nakuru. They're creating tools for event organizers and content creators to better connect with their audience.
That's really building something meaningful for the community.
Exactly. And what's particularly interesting is how this ties into broader cultural preservation efforts. You know, there's this growing movement across Kenya to document and share local stories.
How does that manifest in the actual content?
Well, looking at their episode list, they tackle everything from relationships to social issues. There's this Valentine's Day special that got quite a bit of attention, and episodes about dating dynamics that really resonated with their audience.
Interesting how they balance serious and lighter topics.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to get real. They've done episodes about financial challenges, relationship struggles, even controversial topics that affect the community.
That takes some courage, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And what's remarkable is how they maintain authenticity while growing their platform. Their behind-the-scenes content shows this really genuine approach to production.
Speaking of production, how do they actually create their content?
From what we can see in their behind-the-scenes videos, they keep it pretty straightforward. It's not about fancy equipment, it's about the conversation and connection with their audience.
That's really refreshing in today's overproduced media landscape.
And you know what's particularly interesting? This approach aligns perfectly with traditional African storytelling methods, where the focus is on the narrative and community engagement rather than technical perfection.
Can you elaborate on that connection?
Well, according to cultural research, Kenyan storytelling traditions have always emphasized community participation and relevance. Mambo Yetu Haya is essentially doing the same thing, just in a digital format.
That's fascinating. How does this impact the broader media landscape?
It's creating this ripple effect. We're seeing more local content creators feeling empowered to share their stories, their perspectives. The search results show several similar initiatives popping up across Kenya.
And this is all happening organically?
Yeah, that's what makes it so powerful. It's not being forced or manufactured. It's coming from genuine community need and interest.
Tell me about their audience engagement.
Their view counts are steadily growing. Episodes regularly get hundreds of views, which is significant for locally focused content. But more importantly, they're sparking real conversations in their community.
That's impressive for a local podcast.
And what's particularly interesting is how they're adapting to their audience's needs. They've started doing these mini episodes, or what they call minisodes, to address specific topics quickly.
Oh, that's smart. How long are these minisodes?
They're typically just a few minutes long. Perfect for busy listeners who still want to stay connected to the conversation.
How do they choose their topics?
From what we can see in their content, they're very responsive to their community. They cover everything from local events to broader social issues affecting Nakuru residents.
That must help build a strong connection with their audience.
Absolutely. And it's not just about entertainment, they're actually documenting contemporary Kenyan culture in real time.
What do you mean by that?
Well, through their discussions about relationships, social issues, and daily life, they're creating this digital archive of what it means to be young in Nakuru right now.
That's actually really important from a cultural perspective.
Yeah, and it ties into this broader movement of digital preservation of African stories. We're seeing similar initiatives across the continent.
How does this compare to traditional media?
It's much more immediate and authentic. Traditional media often feels filtered or distant, but these podcasts give you the raw, unvarnished truth of community experiences.
That authenticity must be key to their success.
Definitely. And you can see it in how they approach sensitive topics. They're not afraid to tackle difficult conversations, but they do it with respect and understanding.
Can you give an example?
Sure. They did an episode about the Finance Bill 2024, breaking down how it would affect everyday people in Nakuru. That's not an easy topic, but they made it accessible.
That's really serving their community.
And it's creating this ripple effect. Other content creators are starting to follow their lead, creating more locally focused, community-driven content.
What do you think the future holds for shows like this?
Based on current trends, we're likely to see more hyperlocal content creation. With platforms like Naks Yetu launching, there's growing infrastructure to support these initiatives.
That's exciting for local communities.
Yeah, and it's not just about entertainment. These platforms are becoming vital spaces for community dialogue and cultural preservation.
How do you think this will impact younger generations?
They're growing up seeing their stories, their experiences reflected in media. That's incredibly powerful for cultural identity and community building.
It's really about representation, isn't it?
Exactly. And not just representation, but authentic representation that comes from within the community itself.
What advice would you give to aspiring local content creators?
Looking at Mambo Yetu Haya's success, the key seems to be staying true to your community's voice while being willing to tackle both light and serious topics.
That balance seems crucial.
And maintaining consistency. They've built their audience through regular content that consistently speaks to their community's interests and concerns.
Any final thoughts on the impact of shows like this?
They're really pioneering a new form of cultural documentation. It's grassroots, it's authentic, and it's preserving contemporary experiences for future generations.
That's quite a legacy.
And it's just the beginning. As more communities find their voice through digital media, we're going to see an incredible diversity of stories and perspectives emerge.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Mambo Yetu Haya podcasts. Remember, every community has stories worth telling. Sometimes all it takes is someone brave enough to start the conversation. Thanks for listening.